why I think that RE9 story is badly written. I would still call it okay, but not good or even great. Yes, you can differ with me on this, but let me explain why I think that. First, the story started off with some random and again a new character named Grace, who for some reason has a major walking problem in third person view and also stutter a lot. Luckily, you don't get to hear that in Japanese version, which was great for me. For some reason, I didn't find Grace's story appealing as it didn't have any depth to it. She was just a random person got saved by a journalist long time ago and now worked in FBI. And the only reason she got kidnapped was because she was deemed as Spencer's adopted daughter. Which brought me to another point that if the evil guy turned saint named Spencer finally decided to do something nice in his life, then why the heck he didn't protect Grace until his last breath? And she ended up living in an orphanage where some kind of experimentation was going on. Though it was really hard to say that if the experimentation was meant to create her clones or not. That part of the story was completely left out from the main story, but who knows that they probably explained that in DLC. Another thing that doesn't make sense was that if Grace was meant to be so important for Victor and Zeno, then why the heck she was left alone among zombie-infested care center? From the start, couldn't they just talk to her face to face and ask her if she knows the password? In the beginning, I thought that maybe her blood was special in some way. That's why they needed her to complete some kind of experiment. But no, they just needed her for password. Seriously, just for password. And for that, they first left her among zombies. And then when she had enough fright for the night, then they were like, oh, now let's go to Raccoon City for a change. And she went on board without objection. Then there is this Victor guy and his care center, which is still a mystery to me. That why the heck he was torturing, killing, and taking blood from so many people for, if it wasn't meant to replicate Grace. I still wonder what he did meant by when he said that he done it while looking at some tube, when he did absolutely nothing in this game, just to admire Leon's look and to annoy him. Zeno, on the other hand, I thought could have had a potential to be the next big thing, considering he was a copy of you-know-who, but unfortunately the writer did him dirty and ended his life in a very humiliating way. And then there is this infection thing. Throughout the game, not once they explain why Leon and Sherry were infected with T-virus. If they had been a carrier since Raccoon City, then why now? And why only them? What about Clara, Jill, Carlos, etc.? Are they infected as well or not? None of these questions were answered. And another thing is that if Leon never meant to ask Victor about his infection and only about why he didn't brush his teeth, then why bother going to care center? Seriously, whenever Leon time to time sarcastically remarked that it's his lucky day, I actually believe that the guy himself is extremely lucky. Every time he gets infected and then he gets cured. By now, I think his body should have developed immunity against all kind of viruses. But long story short, I only enjoyed the game in terms of gameplay. Other than that, I think the game needed a good story, which unfortunately didn't have. But to distract player from thinking about the story, the developers placed a ring on Leon's finger, which worked.